guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I am really excited to go over the plants that I got for the month of October and just kind of show you what's new here and there. I mentioned at the very end of September that I was only going to be receiving one plant. And as we all know, as plant addicts, that did not go well for me. I am going to show you what I bought and purchased in the month of October before the month is over. First, I wanted to go over my plants that were gifted to me this month. A lot of you have already seen them. One of them was the Raven ZZ from my friend, very sweet, close friend of mine, Myra, and you will hear me mention her a lot on my channel. She gifted me in the very beginning of October the Raven ZZ. I never had a ZZ plant, and I never knew what it was like to own one. I thought, it's just a ZZ plant. But then when I had one in my home, when I got this one, I fell in absolute love with this plant. So much so that I ended up getting the brother or sister relative of the Raven, but in different color. I got just the plain green ZZ plant. After I got the Raven and the ZZ together, it was like a match made in heaven. I love this plant. I love just looking at the aesthetics, the shape, the color, the uniqueness of this plant. I'm very much of, I love art. And so when I see these plants, I see texture, I see color, I see shapes, I see a lot of things that my eyes like and that it's drawn to. In fact, I love the ZZ plant so much that I would probably have a couple of these in each one of the rooms that I have here in my home, along with the Raven. I think they're both gorgeous. If you don't have one yet, I would suggest that you would, if you get one, I think that you would really thoroughly enjoy this plant. So these are the two plants that I received. So I bought this one at McClendons, a hardware store next to me. It was in fabulous condition, so I went and purchased this one. Lowe's tends to overwater their ZZ plants, and you don't want to do that. You want to treat it kind of like a snake plant. But this was one of the amazing gifts that I got from Myra. Another plant that I received, now it wasn't a plant, it was some cuttings that I also got from Jana. Long story short, Myra is friends with Jana, who lives in Florida. Myra got in contact with Jana. Jana has a YouTube channel called Mommy and Kids TV. To have Jana get a hold of the Raven ZZ, and so to send to me as a gift from Myra. And along with Myra sending me the Raven ZZ, Jana was so sweet, sent me some cuttings of her babies that she has at her house. Jana, I know I messaged you already. The string of bananas did not make it. If you've been with me for a long time, I'm not good at succulent type plants. I'm trying to get into them because I think they're all gorgeous. I'm just not good at caring for them because I don't get enough light here in Washington to keep them alive. And I'm trying to keep a couple alive that are underneath a day grow light. We will see how that goes. But Jana, this is a purple heart plant, and I honestly never heard of it until you sent me this plant, these cuttings, and I put them in water. I have more success with the water method instead of soil method of propagating. I was extremely happy to, hold on, let me find it. Oh yeah, duh, Emily, these close at night. There is a little tiny purple flower that is on this plant. I believe they close up at night, so you're not going to see this, and obviously it's nighttime, but there is a tiny little purple flowers that come out of those little like clam shells or those little sections right here on the plant. I hope you can see that. But this is absolutely gorgeous. You can also plant these outside in the garden and they will actually trail. They will hang out of hanging baskets. They will start vining out. But I'm going to keep this potted up in a really pretty planter and keep it as my indoor plant until summer comes around. So I love this plant. Thank you, Jana. It's doing beautifully. I can't thank you enough. Moving on to my next present that I got from a very special friend of mine. His name is Roger and his wife Renee. I sent Roger a plant, a Monstera Peru, because I wanted to, and that is a way that I show love. And through that, I did not have the intentions of Roger purchasing something for me. I show my care and love towards people by giving, and I get a joy off of seeing others have smiles and having the joy that comes from them when they receive something that they've been wanting. And Roger and Renee sent me a philodendron, and call it a Jose Buno, I don't know how to say that word, but Roger properly identified it with, is it Julia at Christine's Tropical and Exotic Plants in Florida. But I will put the name underneath here, and it's like the Lismani, or I am not good with those names, but he got me this beautiful philodendron, and like I said, some call it the Jose Bueno. I ended up clipping off, there were some little tiny baby leaves down here, and they were wilted and they weren't coming back to life, so I figured I would just clip them off. It looks cleaner now, and it looks like it's doing much better. These leaves perked right up when I placed it underneath the grow light, and so this is one of the plants that was gifted to me this month by Roger and Renee, and I absolutely love it. It reminds me a lot of my painted lady, but love this guy. He has a new leaf coming through. I had to clip this leaf off in the middle, but I clipped him off. I hope you can see that because I cannot see you. There is a leaf that is coming through right there where I had to clip off one of the leaves that were dying. I think it had cold damage, and I think that's why I had to get rid of it. But beautiful plant. That is one that was gifted to me. The next plant that was given to me by another YouTube friend of mine, Ellen. I love you. I love your content. If you have not checked out Ellen, she's from the Winding Leaf. All I can say is gorgeous and loyal. And I love everything you do. I am so blessed you reach out to me. I love you. I love you. I love you. And it may be weird to you, but I do. I love you. I love everything you do, your style, your taste, your plants, everything. Ellen has sent me, if you're new to this channel, if you're just stopping by, Ellen sent me 4 books in the mail from Amazon. And then she has also sent me a plant mail, and it is this guy right here. One of the coolest philodendrons that I think, it's so cute, and it reminds me of a cartoon character. It's called the floppy philodendron. There is a scientific name to it, but I'm just going to call it by the name that I know, and that's easiest for me. This is another philodendron that I got. It was 2 rooted cuttings, and there is a new growth popping up in the middle there. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I don't know if you're going to see it. It's a white growth right at the very, very bottom. This came from Legend of Monstera. Jimmy, he is also a doctor who works in the neonatal department at a hospital. I think he's from Florida. I thought he was from California. I don't know. I'm so like confused with that whole thing. But anyways, Jimmy, if you watch this, thank you very much. Beautiful plant. Ellen, I love this plant and I cannot wait till it gets bigger. It actually gets bigger and it is a vining and climbing, or it will meander wherever it wants to grow. And sometimes I like plants to do that. It gives them more character, I feel like, if you have the room. But this is another one. I think this is my last plant that was given to me from other planty lovers like me. So thank you. 2 other plants that I received. I actually get a lot of plants from this little hardware store, McClendons. You will hear me say that over and over again. It's not even a designated plant nursery at all, but the gal who had offered me a job there in charge of the garden section, that place is amazing. And you can tell that the woman who is in charge, the manager over the garden section, knows what she's doing. She cares about the plants. You can definitely tell when someone takes pride in their work and what they're doing, because every single plant that I have gotten from McClendons has been absolutely phenomenal. Super decently priced. I was shocked when I bought the plants that I bought from there. I love stopping in there every other week because they always have something new, and I can't tell you how much I love that place. So I ended up getting, now I don't love the whole peperomia family, but like all of us, we tend to, our eyes tend to go to other plants more than others in certain families or certain genus of families. So one I got, okay, so both of these plants that I'm going to show you were all $3.50. This is a, I know it's a bird nest. I lied. It's not a peperomia. It's a pilea, a bird nest pilea. I love these plants. I don't know, something about the pilea family. I have a bronzed leaf pilea, the pilea peperomioid, I don't know how to say that very well. And I also have one behind me, the silver sparkle pilea. Love this one. If you can see it, this one was in a haul that I did in July. It was in a 3.5 inch pot and now it's in a 7-inch pot. It grows like crazy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So the bird nest pilea was one that I purchased from McClendons for $3.50. And then the next plant is a peperomia, is called the Peperomia rubella. Not sure. This is the tag. Maybe it's called rubella. But this is what this one looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. It looks like it's going to trail in a hanging basket, but I'm not sure. I saw it, my eyes went to it, and I know the lighting's poor in here, but it has these really cool vining. It's like a light vining, and then these little rat tail things that are gross to me are kind of a pinkish fleshy color. Some of them are pink, some of them are red, some of them are white, but this is an absolutely beautiful peperomia. So for that same store, the bird nest pilea and also the beautiful Maranta prayer plant that my husband purchased for me. Now I believe If I am not mistaken, I think this is the lemon lime, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't know all of them by heart. All I know is that Marantas are easier for me to take care of. They're absolutely gorgeous. I love them. This one was very striking to me, and I don't know. It looks different than my lemon lime because I have a lemon lime. I have a green prayer plant, Maranta. I also have the red prayer plant from Davi, from Hey It's Davi, and then my husband just purchased this one for me, which does not look the same as my lemon lime one. And the name looks like it could be the lemon lime, but I do not know exactly. So if you know, please let me know. I would appreciate that. So moving right along, I want to note that I purchased 2 bulbs off of Etsy. I am really enjoying some of the plants that you usually have outside in a tropical garden called canna lilies. I have a red striped exotic canna lily growing. I got that bulb 2 months ago. I never showed anyone. And then now I also have 2 other canna lily bulbs that I purchased this last month, and they are so beautiful. They get about 6 feet tall to 8 feet tall. Now they only reach 8 feet tall when they are in full sun. Mine right now, of course, are inside, so they won't get as tall as they would outside in the full sun, but they are still growing. I can't speak for the teal ones that I got, but I have the red one that is growing and thriving. It's loving its environment. And then I also have these. I'll post a picture, of course. And tell you where I got them. But I got these 2. They're like a greenish teal, beautiful canna lily that the gal who sold me them said that they make great indoor plants as well. And I love anything that looks tropical. I love anything that looks tropical. So I purchased 2 of those special canna lilies, and they are underneath a grow light right now, and I will be keeping you updated on how they are doing and what they are doing. But I will eventually do a tour or show you updated things of what plants I have and what's growing best and what are my fastest growers. I purchased also from, it's called Well Springs Gardens off of Etsy, and it's one of my favorite places to purchase a lot of my tropical plants. But the only downside is that if you buy alocasias or colocasias from them, they are usually pretty small. I am on the hunt for a good priced large alocasia stingray because he's so little, and I've seen some of the most beautiful looking stingrays. He's got one little stingray leaf on him. He had another one that was right here that the leaf had fallen off somewhere. He just didn't have another leaf. I was a little disappointed with the size, but it feels like he's actually starting to try to create a new leaf, and he is only bent like that because he is trying to go towards the light. So I'm hoping they get bigger. I know a lot of people can keep these inside and they do get big and beautiful, but I've never had good luck with them. I have another alocasia that has not grown much either. I don't know if I'm just not good at them or if, I don't know. I love the plants. I love those plants, and they look so tropical and beautiful and lush, but I am not good at keeping those plants big or beautiful, and they don't grow for me. So if If you know the tricks, if you know any tips, please let me know. I would love that. But this is another one that I purchased. It was only $7.99 from Wellsprings Garden off of Etsy. Is my Alocasia Stingray. I also have coming this month an Alocasia California. And it's got beautiful green ruffly leaves, and I will insert some pictures probably on Instagram, because I'm not gonna wait until that plant comes to post them up on YouTube. So the star of the show, for me at least, was from my friend Shamika, who owns the Etsy shop My Crazy Plant Life. I always order from her. There's not a month that goes by now that I don't order from her at least a rare or just a philodendron that I've been wanting. But this month I decided to get a Philodendron Birkin. Now, shipping was rough on it. It was not Shamika's fault. Things were flown around. It was not handled with care. And so the other plants that I had in there with this plant had crushed the leaves and knocked off some of the biggest leaves. And so, but I did get a Philodendron Birkin. He just came out with, this leaf is cracked and gone, torn, but he just came out with a new beautiful leaf. I am not upset about the condition that this plant came in whatsoever. It is getting cold, so I know there was a lot of cold damage done to this plant. I cut a lot of the leaves off of it, and so once it starts growing and gets quite a few, probably like 3 more new leaves, which it's underneath the grow light, so there's going to be no problem with it. I am going to just cut off the damaged leaves and the ones that are hurting just a little bit. So I got a Philodendron Birkin, and I cannot wait for him to get bigger, more beautiful, more lush. I love the philodendron family. You will see on my channel mostly philodendrons, any aeroids, the Raceae family, Syngoniums, probably just a handful of everything, but mostly philodendrons. So they have captured my heart. And then there were 2 other plants that I got this month of October that I did not bring in here with me. One was the white bird of paradise, and I know a lot of people don't like that plant, and I know it's more of a common plant, but I love it. It is so beautiful. The leaves are so tropical, and I cannot wait till mine gets bigger. Mine's probably about 2 feet tall right now, maybe 3 feet tall. But I cannot wait till mine gets really big and beautiful and lush, and I love that. I love it. And I also got one other plant called a helicona, lobster claw. I have one leaf that has come out. It was torn. What Shamika had done was, I wanted one of those plants. I had never seen them offered in Washington State, anywhere. So she purchased one in Florida because they have them out as like garden plants all year round. So she got one for me. She chopped off all the foliage, which sometimes you need to just conserve space inside of the box that you're shipping it in. And so she chopped off all the foliage, and then she left one leaf, but it did get damaged. And so that leaf came out torn. It's fine. That plant is growing, and it seems like it's a pretty fast grower. It's a huge rhizome or a bulb, and that plant is going to be gorgeous. And the leaf size, I believe there's 3 types. There's the giant one, there's the hanging one, and then there is just the regular kind of dwarf. I don't think it's called the dwarf. I'll update you on that, but the leaf size is probably almost to my shoulder right here to my other side of my arm. Like, those leaves are huge, like paddles, and I cannot wait till it gets bigger. I'm very patient when it comes to that, but I love to see my plants thriving, growing, loving the atmosphere that they're in, and just knowing that they're appreciated and that they're loved. If you like what you're seeing, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. It would mean the world to me. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't, then don't. You will find just somebody who loves her plants and who is very down to earth and loves what I do. And I want to share that with all of you. And hopefully find more special relationships that I have found here. It's a way for me to communicate and to connect with people. I love all of you very much. Even those who I know who are out there who can't stand me. I know that they watch my videos and give me thumbs down. And I'm going to be bold enough to say, you know what? It's okay. Because that's in them. And if they want to do that, they're going to do that. But I'm going to say, you got to feel sad for those people. But I love all of you. And I hope you have a beautiful week. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.